Yeah, I'm not really sure. Guy kind of grabbed it out of my hand, but ended up working out. Jack made a great play, and it ended up working.
Could you tell him and Marner were getting a little bit better feel for each other as the game went on, when you were on the ice with them?
I mean, for sure. I mean, it's the first game. There's a lot of guys playing with new guys, and systems wise, it's always a tough adjustment once you finally get into a game. But I think as the game went on, things cleaned up, and that's what the preseason's for.
I know it's still early in terms of installing the power play, but your new spot, do things change for you there? What do you like about it so far?
Yeah, it's definitely different. We're obviously kind of working through things through the preseason, and I guess we're not really sure what we're going to go with. But we ended up getting one, which was big, and got some momentum from it.
The wins and losses don't count, but can you explain the emotion that the team still show, the pride of wanting to pull this one off?
It's great. The building was pretty much full, which is awesome to see in preseason. Our fans are there, and I felt like we really fed off that in the third.
Can you just talk a little bit about that progression from period one even into the overtime? Is it a feeling on the bench as a whole? I know you're working on your personal game, but as a team, I guess.
For sure. You want to build your game. Obviously, I think the first period for some of us is first period in a long time, and it's going to be shaky. There's going to be times where you're still trying to catch up to speed and get the timing, and especially as a D-man, it's hard to get that timing back. So, I felt like we really built our game, and we finished strong.
Can you give a defenseman's perspective of what it must be like for the opposing defenseman to go against Jack Eichel and Mitch Marner on the same line?
I think really, really tough would be my guess. Playing against Toronto the last couple of years, Marner's a special player. Watching him in scrimmages, he brings a lot. He's good with his stick. He's an exceptional playmaker, and it's good to have him on your side, and especially when Jack's shooting the puck like that. It's a good combo.
Shea, obviously the floodgates opened late in the game, but what was Utah doing to stifle the shot production in the first two periods?
Yeah, they're playing pretty solid in the D zone. I thought, we didn't generate much. We didn't have Supporter on the puck. We weren't winning puck battles down low, and I felt like it was more of a neutral zone kind of D zone game for us. But as it went on, things started to click. We worked on a couple things and ended up clicking for us.
After practices and training camp, I imagine the first preseason action is kind of exciting you for a new season, right? Getting you amped up.
Mm-hmm.
What is that like?
Yeah, it's always exciting. I've been here 9 years, and it never gets old. So, love it, and we're excited for this season.
With your line compared to what you expected after skating together the last couple weeks?
It took a while. The game is definitely a different thing than the practice. So it was kind of, just good to get out there with those guys and to see what they do with the puck. And the first and second period, it kind of took a while. Just trying to understand if Jags has a puck, where's Mitch? And it goes to opposite side too. If Mitch has a puck, where's Jack? And but by the third period, it looks like it got better. Just probably had a little bit more understanding, and just kind of took off.
How did actually playing with Mitch compare to your expectations that you got just through practices?
It's a lot of fun. Playing with both of them was quite a fun. I didn't touch the puck a lot this game. Just kind of kept driving towards the net, and I think that's going to be my spot. Just moving forward.
What felt best about your personal game? You had a couple of good looks early, and then ended up factoring in on both of the third period goals.
Yeah, that look in the first period. I'd rather get him out of the way in the preseason than in the regular season. But just my focus was probably get out there, try to get used to the game. We kind of didn't play for probably 4 months, and you quite forget how quick the game is. And the first period kind of showed it's takes a while, but you definitely get used to it. By going to the second and third.
You have to adjust your game a little bit, playing with two playmakers who could get you the puck from anywhere on the ice.
I think
it's a different kind of mentality.
It's definitely a different mentality. I think my role is just be good enough for a check, and I kind of saw that on the first Jack's goal, just try to get the puck back, give it too much, and they'll do the rest.
How'd you feel like things came together for the team as this one went along?
Yeah, obviously a bit of a slow start, but I thought we got better as the game went along, and a couple power play goals got us right back in it, and great play by Theo there in overtime to seal the deal.
You personally, what are you trying to get out of these games?
Just kind of adapt to the speed of the game, get to know my teammates, and just kind of the systems that they play here. Obviously, it's a really fast pace out there, so just kind of getting the summer hockey out of your system and starting to get into real games here and start kind of get ready for the season and get going.
What stood out most to you about the system so far?
Nothing really. Obviously, it's every team kind of plays similar in some ways, but it's a little different here. So obviously, they have had success with it in the past year, especially with this organization. So obviously, it works, and I think the coaches do a really good job making things really clear for the players. And I feel like we've been getting better as the preseason's gone along.
It's obviously kind of a zone here. Are you more used to playing man, or have you played mostly zone?
I've played both. Really depends on the year, depends on the team, but obviously here's a bit more of a zone, so you got to trust your teammates and rely on your teammates that they're going to make the right read. But it's something that works, so you just got to stick to it and get better as preseason goes along.
Bruce, Danny Webster, Las Vegas Review-Journal. You talked this morning about the rust probably being a factor with Jack and Mitch. It looked that way early on, but how did you like the way that they kind of rounded into form?
Yeah, they made some plays in the third, and I think they were trying to look for each other and then still play their game. Pockets of it, if you look at the game offensively, there wasn't a lot generated from either side. Their top line, got some goals, made some plays. I think I look at our chances early. Barbie had one around the net front. I think Mitch threw it in front. They had a nice cycle play where Barbie had a slot shot where Jack and Mitch kind of held the puck. And so you could see them getting pockets of it. You could also see pockets of it where, they're just out of sync. And I don't think it would matter if they played together or separate. That's just the fact that it was their first exhibition game. And guys are a little bit off. And then as the game wore on, they get more touches and, it comes a little quicker to them because they're elite players and made some good plays to each other. And were the reason we won the game, really, at the end of the day. So now everyone's been through it for our lineup. Everyone's played a game, so I suspect the next time we're together as a group that's more tilted towards what we're going to see in the regular season in terms of a lineup that, it'll become a little more natural, and we probably should generate more offensively because it's been a bit of a challenge that way. But when you're throwing a bunch of new guys together, got young kids in there that are a little maybe nervous, maybe deferring, I think that's normal, but hopefully we can take some steps now in the offensive part of our game. Because the rest of it, quite honest, I give the guys a lot of credit. They're trying to play well away from the puck. We haven't been reckless in that regard. Yeah, we've mismanaged some pucks. Everybody does. Those are training camp mistakes. But I like that part of our effort.
Bruce, do you want Jack Eichel to focus more on scoring goals and maybe shift a little from his playmaking abilities from last year?
Well, I want him to do whatever's necessary, to be honest, in his line to create offense. And Jack's a guy who considers himself a distributor first, even though he's got, if not the best shot in our team, one of them. So he can do both. And if he ends up playing with Marner a lot, Marner's a pass-first guy too. So they're going to have to read off each other, and they're both going to have to take the shot when it's the appropriate time. And listen, Jack has scored goals and will score goals in this league. So if that's what he has to do, he'll do it. I'm not worried about that at all. What I'd be worried about is a little bit of, okay, are they supporting each other knowing that they each like to make the plays and draw people to them? So Jack quite often will talk to his line mates about getting open. Hey, I'll drag a couple guys, I'll force a guy to double team you, whatever, and I'm going to get you the puck, but I need you here. So they'll have those conversations. That's where Jack will have to work for Mitch to get to a shooting position where normally he's the guy asking his two wingers to get to those positions. So that'll be the adjustment for both of them. And I've talked to them both about it for now while they're together. That's just something you'll have to do. And they're smart players and they understand it. Like they want to win, they want to score. It's not like they're going to decide, hey, at home I'm going to be the playmaker on the road. You know what I mean? Like they're just going to figure it out as they go, and they're going to have to support each other when they don't have the puck in terms of scoring positions.
Vince Sapienza, Fox 5. What did you make of Colton Sissons, how he fit on that line, and your first impressions of that line?
Yeah, another guy that it was his first go around, and Howie and Coley played earlier. So, I like the line again. There was they're probably going to have to get their forecheck, first touch, puck recovery, support stuff in sync, because that's how they're going to generate offense. And, they'll have some good conversations about it. They did on the bench. It was tougher getting through the neutral zone today with Utah. They did a good job of clogging that up. So it did become a bit of a forecheck game, which is okay. We need to work on that stuff and create offense from it. So, there are three good pros. They've been in the league, and like Jack and Mitch, they'll sort it out with each other in terms of where they want each other, and we just need more reps. It's that simple. We need more reps as guys are going to play together, and we'll get a little bit of that more next week. We're still evaluating people, and that's the exhibition season. So you've got to do both, and that we're going to end up tilted towards chemistry development a little more probably next week as opposed to tomorrow or maybe Tuesday.
Back to Danny and Chris.
Not sure how much you knew about Cole Reinhardt before he got here, but what does it say about a young kid who's willing to stick up for his temeates in the preseason?
Yeah, that was impressive. A new guy like that, it's obviously natural to him because it's a young guy too that hasn't been around here either. It's not like it was Theodore. You know what I mean? It's so good for him. It was just a guy in a Golden Knights sweater, and that's when you know you're high character, when you're doing it just to look after one of your own. So good for him. He needs to bring intangibles, and that was one of them obviously tonight that you don't always see necessarily on the score sheet. So good on him, and hopefully it gives him some confidence. And I know the guys appreciate it, every guy in that bench, and the guys watching the game are the guys tomorrow. I'm sure we'll give them a pat in the back too.
Bruce, obviously preseason is about player evaluation. It's also about, certain scenarios that you have. The overtime obviously is the result that you want, but just talk about your team in that extra time and what they were able to do.
Well, it didn't start the way we wanted to. A lot of times if you don't start with the puck, the face-off, it's regroup. Guys are fresh. They don't want to charge down the ice and take any shot. They want to take a good one. That's what happened. They kept kind of cycling back and back. So guys can get frustrated, right? They're out there 45 seconds basically following and shadowing a guy around. And, good for us. We eventually got it back. We got other people on the ice, and they got their second turnaround, and we did win a puck. And, then you get your chance to go. So I think it was a good look. It was in between a bit of a line change for Utah and us, I think. Good heads-up play by Jack, and Theo found some ice. And those three guys, I'm sure, will play together this year in overtime quite a bit. We'll look at different pairs, but they're all offensive tilted guys and read the ice well and can finish. So should bode well for us. But you have to have the puck, right? So I actually give credit to Ronberg, who was out in the middle part of that shift, who tracked a guy down to interrupt a rush there. Could have been game over and no chance for them to get back out there. So. Good on those guys and I think it was Holtz and Hanny for breaking up that play and allowing us to get a puck back.
We'll go Nick, then back to Danny to finish. Nick Walters, Channel 13. Oh, well, Bruce, the team certainly didn't put their foot off the gas in this one. Instead, just because it's preseason, the wins and losses don't count, but instead they rallied to this emotional win with a fight and 2 third-period goals. What does that say to you about this group, and how promising was that to see?
Well, our guys care. We need to get more offensively competitive right now and simplify a little bit because guys aren't always playing together, and that's a part of the game we understand. And it came together in the third, so that's good. Maybe that'll be the step. You need something good to happen. Some energy got into the building because of the scrap. That's always good. The crowd's into it, and I think guys respond well when a teammate sticks up for one another. So there's probably 2 or 3 different things there to get us going. As I said, you got to score. Your bench gets excited. Now you're a goal away. Guys want to win, even though it's exhibition. Or, the consequences go along with it aren't as severe as the regular season or, playoffs. But you still want to win. They want to win, and good for them for stepping it up. They knew they had more to give, and they did. And so that was good. Again, we'll get back to work tomorrow. Be long forgotten by by tomorrow morning. We'll get ready for the next game in San Jose. And guys that aren't playing, make sure we get our work done to keep building for the regular season.
Since we won't talk to you for the next couple of days, do you have anything new on Pavel?
I'm around tomorrow.
Are you?
Yeah, be happy to talk to you guys if you want.
All right.
If you don't want to,
We
that's
didn't know what
fine
your
too. I got a
availability
plane
was.
to catch. I'll have a long lunch, maybe put my feet up.
We didn't know what your availability was tomorrow.
I assume I'll be available, Danny, but Pav skated today and so did Lozon. So that is good news. They will not play tomorrow. What are we? Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday next week. I'll probably be able to give you a better idea Monday or Tuesday morning if, when they'll get back in for the preseason. But that's where they're at. So hopefully both of them progress well through the weekend.